Can Penrith win the comp?
They've got to get through the next 3 weeks, emerge unscathed, stay in the top 4.
Any team can do it from outside. You know they can. They've got
No, I don't know that they can. No.
You don't think
they've
they
got
could
all
win
the
it from
experience
outside?
in
I
the
think they'll
world.
finish in the top
History
4.
suggests they can't.
History suggests we've never seen a team like this.
Correct. I think the only 2 sides in the top 4 that have another gear are Melbourne and Penrith.
And they are in this position where they can still make the 8. They have a roster that is absolutely capable of winning a comp.
Bailey Simonson omitted again from the Eels lineup to play the Rabbitohs on the weekend. What's doing? Welcome to the Code NRL show. Adam Mobbs here with Michael Carianis, David Riccio and Brent Reid. Hot take for this week. Can Penrith win the comp? Yes.
Yeah, they can.
For sure.
Of just one word answers?
Well,
They can.
yeah.
Yeah, I think they can. But I think Melbourne are clearly still the favourites for me. But I think Penrith, depending on how things play out, they've got to stay in the top 4. I think you can't win it from outside the top 4 for me. They've got to stay in the top 4. They've got a tough run the next 3 weeks, I think.
Yep.
They've got to get through the next 3 weeks, emerge unscathed, stay in the top 4, and then I'd be worried about them.
You're not worried about them now? I'd be
Not
worried
if they're
about
outside the top 4, no.
I'd be worried about them regardless if I'm
Outside the top 4.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, if any team can do it from outside, you know they can. They've got
No,
all
I don't know that they can. No.
You don't
Well,
think
they've
they
got
could
all
win
the
it from outside?
experience in
I
the
think they'll
world.
finish in the top
History
4.
suggests they can't.
But I don't think we've seen a
History suggests we've never seen a team like this.
Correct.
Well, we have in the 60s.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yep.
So we've seen a better team, but anyway.
Yeah. Only you were alive then.
I wasn't. It was close.
What about the lack of injuries? I mean, I know Isaiah Yo's out for that Melbourne
but he'll
clash,
be back.
but that's
It's what happens every year.
their
Injury run is always timed to perfection.
Yeah.
isn't it?
Every year they have a big injury. Isaiah Yo this year, he'll be playing at the business end.
They'll be
Because
playing next week.
That's
Yeah.
what happens with Penrith. For whatever reason, their injuries. I know they've carried Nathan and
Yeah.
Jahrome over the last couple of years, but it works out for
The
them.
big thing is the defence is back in order. And I reckon that was the biggest concern when we started to think about writing them off and actually write them off earlier this year when we started to. Their defence was like something we haven't seen before from a Penrith side in so many years. And I think now that's back in order. I think they're conceding on average 12 points. That's just crazy. That's back to championship stuff. So yeah, absolutely they can. We're going to get a great look at them over the next 3 weeks though.
Yeah.
That's the barometer for them.
I think they beat Melbourne.
Well, Melbourne's a bit down on troops.
No, perhaps no Jahrome Hughes.
Yeah.
They get their chance.
That's the big one for Melbourne is if they get, like, perhaps we'll be back obviously, but Jahrome Hughes, if he's not back, I'd have Penrith as premiership favourites.
Can Melbourne win it without Jahrome Hughes?
No.
No, I don't think so.
I reckon they can.
I just don't think the other players
I
are
think the
firing
comp's
yet.
very wide open this year.
Hugely, yeah.
I think even Melbourne have been a bit inconsistent.
They have
haven't
been. There's something
They
about
haven't
Melbourne
been
this
convincing,
year. It's
right?
not.
I don't know whether they're waiting for the finals,
But it's-
there's been moments where they've
not-
played so well. They've blown teams away for 20, 30-minute periods, and then they've just shut up shop and stopped playing.
Yeah,
so
there was
no
that,
one's
there
been
was
overly
that South
convincing.
performance.
Yeah. So I don't look. I think Melbourne can win it without Jahrome. I think it becomes infinitely more difficult for them, but I think they can win it without him.
I'm not sure if they can without
No,
Jahrome.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, sorry for having an opinion.
I just think the other
Buzz.
players are like, it's crazy. We've said it for ages now. They haven't been great, but they come in second, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
There's another gear.
But yes, I think the only 2 sides in the top 4 that have another gear are Melbourne and Penrith. Right, I think Canberra has been exceptional this year. Obviously,
You're going to
right?
start bagging Canberra again.
No, I think
You
they
know where that gets you, buddy.
But I think they
Yeah.
played their best footy, right?
Yeah.
I think Canterbury have probably played their best footy. Although
I think
Canterbury
there's an
have
element
been
of
shaken.
waiting for the finals for
Things
the
up.
Raiders' point of view.
Yeah, I agree with Dave.
I reckon they've flatlined a little bit on the basis of waiting. A lot of young blokes that haven't been in this situation
Lots
before.
of unknowns around them, right? Where Melbourne and Penrith are known quantities in the business end of the season.
Yeah.
See, people keep saying this about Canberra, but they've got a lot of finals experience. A lot of finals experience. We had this argument with Jimmy Graham the other week. Jimmy said they've got heaps of finals experience.
Not in the spine.
Premiership
Not
experience.
necessarily in the spine.
Not
They've
in
got
the
a lot
spine.
of finals
Premiership
experience.
experience.
You mean winning comps? Well, no, they don't have that. But they've got experience in big games in finals.
What about the grind? What about getting in the grind? Because Melbourne can do it. You know Penrith can do it.
look
You've
something
seen
up.
Canterbury
do you
all
look up?
season grinding out wins.
Yeah.
Canberra have relied on their attack to get them out of trouble at times, and then they finally had that defeat that rocked them a little bit, and
Yeah.
then Even against Manly, I thought Manly held their gloves up pretty well in the middle a little bit, and then they got the win again. So, but
they'll get punished for those lapses in the finals if they don't eradicate them.
Yeah,
that's the concern for Canberra.
Yeah,
Look at Reedy, how many finals they've played or something.
Look, the big factor is
Not many.
Is with the Raiders is they're going to be playing these semi-finals at home.
yes,
That's the factor you just can't run away from. They've walked that as soon as you say that,
Huge.
advantage Raiders.
They could play Penrith week 1 of the finals.
Yeah, down in Canberra.
Who would you be tipping?
Well, I bet you. Well, okay, just hold that thought.
I'd take Canberra, but anyway.
But hold that thought. But you would have a vastly different view if that game was at Penrith.
Oh, it's probably
Combank.
well, it's not a discussion.
You know what I mean?
It's probably
though?
not a
So
discussion,
it
mate.
shifts your
Yeah.
view of how that result goes.
Yeah.
Based on the fact that they've put themselves in this position to be playing to get into a grand final at home. It's huge.
They got 3 survivors in their grand
Yeah,
final
that's
team.
not a lot. I knew
Not
that.
a lot.
You could have asked me, I
they've
could have
got a
told
lot
you
of-
that.
But they've got a lot of finals experience since then.
Not in their spine.
Hudson Young, Josh Papali'i, Joe Tupper.
Nah, Corey
No.
Oh no,
Horsburgh.
Corey
Corey
Horsburgh.
Horsburgh.
sorry.
Not Hudson Young.
Yeah.
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 Corey
They're the
Horsburgh,
three.
yeah.
Is
But
that what you
Tarpanay's-
is that what you spent
Tarpanay's
5
played
minutes
for-
looking up?
Yeah, just quickly look at the team.
Could've just asked
Tarpanay's played finals footy since then. There's a lot of guys in that team played. Jamal Fogarty. A lot of guys played in finals.
They haven't. How many have they
A
won?
lot of them played Origin.
How many have they
A lot of
won?
them played Test footy.
How many finals have they
I
won?
don't know their finals. Mate, you have to give me more notice.
You're the one
I
ringing.
would've
You're
looked
the
up
one-
my
So you
stats.
bring up
But
these
you
points.
blokes are saying they don't have big match experience. They do. They clearly
I didn't
do.
say they haven't.
I said they haven't
say
had finals
You're
experience.
saying people
Well, they
are
do
saying.
though. That's
But what,
incorrect.
winning finals experience?
Winning, losing, it's still finals experience.
Okay.
Is it
But I'm
not? Is
comparing
that
it-
not? Sorry.
I'm
if you
comparing it-
lose, does it not count?
I'm comparing it to Melbourne and Penrith. It doesn't even come close.
Who's going to get close to them? You put a line through every team in the top
So
8
there's
then.
obviously question. No. So obviously there's
Well, you
question.
are because you're comparing it to Penrith.
I
Melbourne.
said, listen,
No one's in that
listen,
bracket.
because you're annoying me now. I said there's question marks over their big game experience, and you're saying there's not because they've had no success in big game experience. So it's sweet.
I didn't say they've had no success. You said they've had
in
no
finals,
success.
in finals they've had no success.
But they played big matches other than finals.
We're talking finals football reading.
No, you said big match.
I'm talking.
Now
If
you
we
make
go
two
back,
finals?
if we went back, I said
so
finals.
does Origin and Test
Because I
footy
said
count?
finals.
Do Origin
and
Test
you're
footy
comparing
not
them
count?
to. I said that Melbourne and Penrith have a distinct advantage
Yeah,
over.
but they've got an advantage over everyone.
Exactly.
So put a line through every other team in the top 8.
Okay.
Oh, okay. There you go. Done. Mick says Penrith, Melbourne, no one else can win it. Done.
And Reedy says Canberra couldn't win because 3 blokes played a grand final 5 years ago.
No, and all the blokes who played Test footy and State of Origin footy as well.
I want to ask you, Dave, about the Sydney Roosters.
Yes.
Your thoughts on how they're going, where they should be sitting at the moment, because the last couple of weeks,
Yep.
their season's been on the line, and losses would have pretty much ruled them out, and they've kept themselves in the running. Are they where they should be, or do you think they should be a bit higher?
So last September, I wrote a column about how the vacuum of leadership and experience is going to hurt the Roosters this season, and how I had them struggling to make the 8. After watching the rise of Mark Nwanaka-Tuizi, Robert Toya, Hugo Savala, and a couple of Blake Steves, the younger forwards coming through, I shifted my mind on where this team sits. Probably around May, June this year, and then watching unfold the Dally M favourite, the form of James Tedesco, has shifted my mind on what this team is capable of when you then throw in the class and calibre of all the representative players, Angus Crichton, Connor Watson, who else? Tupou's in there,
Spencer's in there.
like
Lindsay Collins.
Lindsay Collins, Spencer Leniu, Victor Radley.
They have been without
Right.
Sam Walker for...
Okay, so then you come back to the fact that Sam's been missing. Yet here they are. Okay, granted, but they still had Sandon Smith. They could have. They bought Chad Townsend for a reason. I'm not saying it worked or it didn't work, but they did buy him. So they had ample experience and depth in the halves. They unearthed Hugo, and they are in this position where they can still make the 8. And once they get there, they have a roster that should be and is absolutely capable of winning a comp and at least getting to the grand final.
This year?
Yes,
This year.
if they get to the 8, they should.
The Roosters?
That's a
We're talking
team.
the Roosters.
Yes,
Your turn.
mate. How? that team,
Mate,
right?
that team's on the class of Melbourne, Penrith,
Oh,
Canberra.
It's got bigger. They've played more finals.
so they got the Dally M favourite. He'll win. Jimmy Tedesco will win the Dally M.
Yeah, he's a good player.
They've got 5 Origin players.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right? I don't keep a tally.
Well, they do.
Connor Watson's a bench player, but anyway.
Oh, so again, you sell him.
Doesn't
You
count.
sell him a mate, right?
I did. I heard him last night. That's where I stole that line.
Well, you
from.
can't. He's pinching your lines, Brady.
Pinch your lines, Brady.
Well, okay.
Spencer.
Because you come off the bench in Origin.
I just had him coming into this year missing the 8. I think I had him at 9, just missing the 8.
So there's some you must see some damn good teams above the Roosters as far as rosters are concerned.
Well, I just thought with all the amount of players that left the side last year, right? There was a lot of high quality, a lot of experience out the door.
Hargraves missed a stack of footy. Yep.
Yeah, taking into the account that Sam Walker, we didn't know exactly when he was going to be back this year. So I thought they'd have a slight dip this year, not a catastrophic dip, a slight dip this year, but obviously signing Reece Robson for next year, and then with those players that have had more exposure, like Nafahu White, CY Wong, all those sort of guys that have played a lot more first grade this year, and I just wasn't sure with that experience.
There's not a player in the Roosters backline that wouldn't walk into the majority of the teams inside the top 8.
I get your point. I do get your point. I just basing it on what my expectation was on him heading into this year, and I didn't have him in my 8.
So which teams did you have at the start of the year beating him in the 8? Did you have the Dolphins?
No.
The Warriors?
No.
The Raiders?
Definitely not.
Jeez, you're going great, aren't you?
So the Roosters were...
So these are all teams above them. So you had the Storm,
Yeah.
Bulldogs,
Yeah.
Panthers,
Yeah.
Broncos,
Yeah.
Manly.
Sharks.
You had Manly.
So you would have had Manly.
I had Manly too.
I had Manly in my 8.
How you can even
Cowboys.
consider
South, I think.
how you consider the Manly lineup
Yeah.
to being comparable to what the Roosters have at their disposal, I find mind blowing.
Where'd you have him at the start of the year?
Again, because I'm hearing what you said, the vacuum of experience, I went no. But halfway through this year,
So you
didn't have him in the 8?
no, probably not. No, but
Now you think they
I know
should
what
win the
you're
grand
saying.
but you're
final?
not even
I
you're not
know.
even willing to reassess where they sit.
No, I understand what you 100% understand what you're saying. And then if you look at it now, I think they'll make the 8, right? Because of the injuries that have got to teams in and around them. Manly have fallen off a cliff, right? The Dolphins have all these injuries. I think Brisbane will make the 8 as well, despite the 3 injuries that they've got. But I think the Roosters will finish.
So
in
what
the
I'm
top
saying
8.
is, so Tedesco's having a Dally M season.
I don't think they can win the comp.
Mark Nwanaka-Tuohy is the Dally M Rookie of the Year. The NRL can stamp the papers, but he is, right? He's the best young player in the game.
Really?
Then Robert Toyer comes out
don't know
and
about
plays
that,
3
Dave.
games in a State of Origin series and wins it with Queensland. These are the things that you didn't know would happen when you were doing your top 8.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
And that's why I had my doubts, right?
Yeah.
But
so now they emerge
Yeah.
with this capability, and they are, where are they? 10th at the moment? 10th? 9th?
Ninth, yeah.
They are underachieving.
nah, because I think I understand your point, Dave, but you can't, just because we get to the halfway point and we reassess, right?
Yep.
You can't discard how hard it was for him at the start of the year without Sam Walker,
Yep.
without all those guys that were playing longer minutes for the first time and stuff. You just can't discount that, right?
Can I say, everyone's talking about how the Roosters turned the corner, right? Am I right? They won 2 in a row now? Did they win 2 weeks ago? I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I think they lost 2 games before that. They've actually been flying.
No.
They haven't been
no.
that good this year.
No, that's why I think they're underachieving.
But you're also saying they can win the comp.
Well, why did those boys...
How can they win the comp?
What? No,
But
I said
they're
they
saying
can
they
get to
win
the
the
grand
comp based
final.
on the roster.
Well, they can make the grand final.
Well,
They can't make the
but
grand
mate,
final. The way they're
why
playing,
did those boys?
Dave,
Why did those boys get picked for New South Wales and Queensland?
because they
Why?
Well,
Because if they're going so-
Robbie Tory got picked because we ran out of troops, basically.
If they're getting so ordinary,
Spencer and some of those other blokes got shown loyalty. Spencer, Connor Watson,
they still got there.
Angus got
shown loyalty.
Yeah, so they still got there, right?
Yeah,
But if they're going like bastards, there's enough back rows around and pick over the top of Angus.
surely
Crichton.
over the course of this season, you can see that they've been too inconsistent. And
They have been inconsistent, which is why they're underachieving.
And conceded too many points to go anywhere close to winning this comp.
They need to improve, no doubt. They're underachieving.
Dave's not basing it on the way they've played. Dave's basing it on the way they should be playing.
That's
But,
right.
but you can't.
I don't agree with you. I don't agree.
You've got to base it on the way they're playing.
Not if to say they're
Why?
underachieving.
Why? If Angus
No, but I'm
Crichton,
talking about saying
Angus
that they
Crichton's a
can,
9 out of 10
they can make the
player
grand
and he's
final.
playing at a 6, he's underachieving.
Yeah, but no, but I'm saying you're saying they can make the grand final or give it a shake.
If they can,
But you can't base
if
it on
all
how-
those boys,
If you're based on how they're playing, they can't.
well, if they play to their ability, they can.
Well, maybe this is their ability. Maybe we've overrated their ability.
Well, that's a different topic.
I didn't think they'd make the finals before the season started.
Well, that's a different
so
topic.
therefore, I thought their ability was, they've exceeded their ability to get to where they are.
Well, they've got some issues with their roster then.
Can I go back to Canberra quickly?
Do you think the Roosters should clean
No,
out that
keep going.
roster?
Mate, they made a prelim in 20, and they made the final, second win the finals in 2022, beat Melbourne in Melbourne. That's big game experience.
Do you think the Roosters should clean out their roster?
No.
Well, you should. You think they should because they're not playing to their ability.
No, because I think
they've reached their potential.
Because I think this year for the Roosters was always going to be a transition year, and they were going to be better next year.
But you just said those players are playing to their ability and potential.
Well, some of them are.
So they're on long contracts.
Some aren't.
They're long contracts.
I mean, Mick mentioned Angus. Angus has been a bit down this year. Blokes like Toyer are going to get better. Mark the Wingini Tuazi is going to get better.
Yeah.
Right?
Nafahu White's a gun.
Yeah.
Hugo Savala's going to get better.
You throw Reece Robson in.
So who is playing to their? Who has hit their potential?
Well, Teddy.
That's it. He's going to win the Dally M.
Rob Toyer's probably exceeded what we expected.
No, they have.
Hugo Savala's been outstanding. Sammy Walker's been great since.
You said maybe they've reached their potential.
It's probably their higher earners haven't been great this year. Obviously, they missed Sam Walker for a long time. Teddy's been great. But Lindsay Collins, I don't think was great. Has been great this year. I don't think Angus has been great this year.
Radley's had some.
Radley
some
hasn't
issues,
been great this year. So I think that's where their issues are at the moment. The Roosters, not the emerging players, which is why I think they'll be really good next year. They could win the comp next year, But I just think that
if they miss the 8, it's an underachieving season.
They win 2. Well, they've got 2 big games, don't they? Storm.
Yep.
Bulldogs.
Yeah.
And so they've got to win the other 2, which are Parramatta and then South. You reckon 2 wins from there gets them in the 8?
Maybe. No certainty.
I'll tell you what, that for and against helped them against the Dolphins.
I'm tipping them this week.
To beat the Dogs? Yeah. I could see that happening.
I think they can get up for it.
Rumour Mill, obviously breaking news on the Thursday morning. Sean Lane officially announcing his retirement. You guys had it in Sport Confidential 6 weeks ago, so if you want to hear the latest, always go there first. So the other one is Bailey Simonson omitted again from the Eels lineup to play the Rabbitohs on the weekend. What's doing?
This seems like another situation of Jason Riles taking a stand or a position on a player that he knows is not part of the club's future and has decided to not pick Bailey. There's been opportunities to pick him. Through injury. Sean Russell's a good example. He's been out.
Pick Dylan Brown ahead of him.
Yeah, that's right. And clearly, it's a case of Rolsey putting the foot down again and saying, hey, if you can get another club, do your best. The problem is for this, right, is Bailey needs to be careful about asking for a release. Because when you ask for a release, that's your terms. That's what you want. It's not necessarily the club. The club can go, oh, we don't want to release you. And then therefore, it becomes part of the financial package of the departure. So Para are going to say, no, we don't want to release him. We're not chipping in. He's on around 450,000. It's a good salary for his capabilities. And if he's not careful and just wants to walk and throw the toys out of the cot, Para aren't going to chip into his next contract.
Yeah.
You know? So it's
interesting.
interesting,
He's
but
on decent money too. He's not so it is an interesting one because
I don't think he's underpaid.
No, because he was re-signed recently. It's like some of the other guys that Riles had let go he inherited a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
So it's probably the first one of the.
I've checked in with a few clubs on their interest. There's certainly some. I mean, clubs' ears prick up when they hear about it because they know he's got ability. His former club, the Raiders, they're not interested in a return for Bailey. He'll get a club, but he just needs to be careful on the whole release and who's paying what, so he can still maximise his 400.
It is a little strange that Riles has brought Dylan Brown back in and playing him in the centres. I know he's played a little bit there before, but that to me, I found that's the thing that sticks out as a little weird.
Well, I suppose you could take that view, couldn't you? Given how much Riles he's gone down the future first path. Have you not got a young gun centre that you could blood and have a look at?
I would have thought, and I'm told that they don't want to rush him in, but this time of year you got nothing else to play for. Richard Pennicini.
I'm going to say that,
might be someone that you put through. You blood him into first grade, you give him some minutes.
There'd be reasons, Mobsy.
It's also a bit of a reward for Dylan Brown too. Apparently he's been outstanding at training.
Yeah,
his attitude,
hasn't dropped his bottom lip.
Why do you feel the need to? And I love what Jason Riles is doing. I want to stress that. Why do you feel the need to reward someone who's leaving the club? Let me finish. When you can reward guys who've been doing the job for the New South Wales Cup, or reward guys, younger guys who have been head down, training hard, part of the club's future. Why would you? And again, I stress, I'm a huge supporter of Rolsey. I think he's doing an amazing job. But why would you reward a guy who's leaving the joint?
Because it's not punished. Dylan hasn't been he shouldn't be punished. Right?
No, but why reward? No, that's not the point.
Because I'll tell you simply,
why reward?
I'll tell you simply because it's to win football games.
And it's not just that. It's because his attitude has been amazing, and the players want him to play.
Dylan gives you a better chance of winning the game.
But I'm sure the players wanted him to play previous weeks. He hasn't picked him.
Yeah, but there comes a point where you can't. This guy has been outstanding around the group, right? It's not like he's dropped his bottom lip or anything like that. So you don't. If you've got a vacancy there, you don't need to keep kicking him.
No,
right?
So what about the other kids who've been around the group?
But do you know there's been others?
I don't
know.
No,
well, maybe they're not ready.
Okay.
Maybe there's players that are there that aren't ready.
Okay, it's just a question.
I think coaches still come back to the fact that this bloke gives me a better chance of winning the game. I think you go to a point and go, right,
But I think he's shown it's not necessarily about winning, Dave. Otherwise, Dylan would have been in the team to start with. Like, why would you drop Dylan? Dylan gives you a better chance of winning.
Yeah.
He's a better with due respect, he's a better footballer than Dean Hawkins.
No, I understand that. I understand that. But I still think you do get to a point where you're not throwing games for throwing games' sake. Like,
not suggesting anyone's throwing games.
No.
But
he obviously doesn't feel like there's anyone that's ready or up to play in NRL yet.
And look, young Penrith,
Well, I
he's
can't
coming back
understand why
from that
Bailey Simons
ACL.
will consider that and slap in the face.
I could understand why Bailey thinks it's a slap in the face. Not so much
No.
a young kid, you know, like in Dylan being picked over a rookie. But I could understand why Bailey's frustrated by it, no doubt.
And he has shown, Rolsey, that he's not afraid to throw young guys into the mix.
Yeah.
You know, you've seen with Josh Papali and Keone Katonga and guys who haven't had an opportunity at first grade at other clubs have come in, and he believes that they've earned it. So they go in. And I know Richard Penasini's come back from that ACL and they wanted him a full season in Cup to bring him through. But
has he been going any good?
Yeah, he's been going all right. I don't think we're too far away from seeing the brothers in first grade together at some point next season.